Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generated game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had, I think, some servant cats we were taking a look at, and a case of white cough for Flare Freckle, who I believe is probably the main character of this entire saga. She was very special when she was young and very quickly overshadowed her brothers, and then I feel like everything that has happened in the clan, the relationships, the storylines, the expansion of families, it's all somehow been like spiderwebbed around her. And she is continuing to draw our attention, not only with the death of her two sons recently, but now the fact that she has white cough. And I seriously hope she survives, guys. Like, I don't think it's good for her to be this sick during like Leaf Bear, the coldest time of the year, but I want her to reach, like, seniority, elderhood. And she's, like, less than a decade, like, away from that. And I say a decade, but I don't mean 10 years. I just mean she's, like, less than 10 moons away, I should say. Less than 10 moons away to going ahead and actually becoming, like, a fully fledged, not a fully fledged cat, she is, but, having lived a full life. And I really want that for her, along with her brothers. I don't want Shining Stripe, Bear Pelt, and Flare Freckle to make it across that kind of finish line on their own, or with just two of them. I want the whole litter to make it across the finish line. That would be like a first across like any of my clans, and that would actually be very, very exciting. But okay, guys, it is the first turn of Leaf Bear. We are at Moon 117. Let's take a look at what's been happening. We have all of our well-maintained alliances and the Queen Rainstar and Hemlock? Yes, I think Hemlock, who is looking after things right now. And then Foxclaw has gotten a running nose, Ghostfeather's sprain is feeling much better, but then Ghostfeather was attacked by a group of rats. He managed to fight them off but didn't escape unscathed. Ghostfeather has not been having a great time of late. He literally had a broken bone from a big dog that he came across, and then recovering from that, he got a sprain because he was too excitable when training, and recovering from his sprain, he now has gotten attacked by rats. So we actually need to take a look at him. I'm a little bit worried about his condition because rat bites are dangerous, and also I'm not gonna say I'm surprised by the rats, because we have worked out at this point that the bigger your prey pile, the more chance there is that you're gonna attract some rats. So, we have been very abundant with food, let's just say. Okay, let's dive into the medicine cat den. So Flare Freckle has white cough, and he has a rat bite, which can be very, very poisonous. And then we have grief-stricken Rainstar, Foxclaw with his running nose. Flare Freckle was given Tansy as treatment for white cough. Yeah, she's at risk of death. Ghostfeather was given Dandelion as treatment for sprain. He recovered from that. And then Rainstar, Queen Rainstar, was given Juniper as treatment for grief-stricken. Icicle Speck could not find any herbs this moon. Please, please, please keep an eye on Ghostfeather. So yeah, clan is feeling a little bit dubious right now. But let's take a look at our relationships. Icicle Speck swaps favorite prey with Flare Freckle. Icicle Speck didn't expect an apology from Cinnamon Tail, but accepted it regardless. Shining Stripe waves to Flare Freckle with his tail as their patrols cross paths on the territory. That's adorable, brother and sister bonding over here. This has been like their whole life. This has literally been their whole life, and I want to see this continue. Shining Stripe notices that Cinnamon Tail brought him a big piece of prey. Flare Freckle knows that Queen Rainstar would be saved for her during an emergency. I mean, she's the queen. Cinnamon Tail promises Flare Freckle that everything will be okay. Bear Pelt appreciates Cinnamon Tail telling him that he had a feather stuck to his face. Cinnamon Tail says something vulnerable to Bear Pelt. Inkfeather thinks the prey Freezefur is biting into on the other side of camp looks delicious. The whole clan notices how close Inkfeather and Fiercetooth are lately. Foxclaw and Garlic Glow work together to make sense of something a clanmate said. Foxclaw couldn't imagine how boring things would be without a friend like Fiercetooth. Okay, these two are really, really bonding, and that makes me so happy. In the last episode, I'm pretty sure Fiercetooth became friends with him. So things are looking good for them. Ghostfeather tries to look at Queen Rainstar's actions from another perspective and starts to like her more. Scorchpaw hit Ghostfeather on the face with his tail while passing by. I'm pretty sure Ghostfeather already is not too fond of Scorchpaw, so that's not really good. Freezefur shares nest material with Hemlock. Linepaw was complimented by another clan during the recent gathering, but Freezefur wasn't. Garlic-Glow sees Fiercetooth whispering suspiciously to a clanmate. Garlic-Glow tried on an accessory that Fiercetooth threw away, but realized Fiercetooth looked a lot better in it. Icicle Speck says something very sincere and comforting to Queen Rainstar. Queen Rainstar appreciates how Lotus Paw always seems to ask how she's doing. Cinnamon Tail is surprised by Shining Stripe being thoughtful. Hemlock prevents something from falling on Inkfeather. Hemlock notices that Cinnamon Tail is fixing a damaged part of the camp without being asked. Cinnamon Tail's really stepping up. I feel like this is a very responsible way of Cinnamon Tail to deal with the grief of losing his brother River Whistle. Fiercetooth is telling a story to Icicle Speck. When a clanmate passes by holding stinking herbs, both Linepaw and Lotus Paw gag. Lotus Paw heard a story about something kind Cinnamon Tail did. Shining Stripe told Scorchpaw something awful, and Scorchpaw may never look at him quite the same. This is not good, because, mentor and apprentice over here. I'm pretty sure the first moon they got paired off, Shining Stripe didn't have the best impression of Scorchpaw, or something went wrong. Last episode, it kind of felt like things were okay, because Shining Stripe was asking Scorchpaw to show him, his techniques and stuff, or his skills, but Scorchpaw then, was falling quite far behind, which is the complete opposite of how he was doing in his first moon, so I'm not entirely sure, and now it looks like things are going from bad to worse. Yikes. Okay, well that is all we have for events. Let's wrap up over here and move on to the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. So a quick reminder on our loyalties, and once more, I actually do not have anything to report in terms of relationships. These cats are way too cold. They're all huddled up inside the grotto, and I don't think anyone is feeling too frisky or anything like that. Okay, let's dive over to the matchmaker though and see if she's got anything for us. We need to have a matchmaking session between Foxclaw and Fiercetooth, who have been getting along quite well. In fact, we saw them interact with each other, I think. Actually, did I? Wasn't it this episode? We saw them interacting with each other. Let me check. Let me check real quick, because I might have actually missed something with the two of them. Let's have a look. Actually, I did miss something, and it was between Fiercetooth and Foxclaw, both of whom had a bit of a relationship increase. I think I assumed it was from the matchmaking session last time, but no, they did interact, so they did have a bit of a relationship increase, because, they were spending time with each other, realizing what good friends they are, and how boring things would be without each other, so yeah, I'm actually really happy for them. But let's go to matchmaking. Let's have a look and see how things go. No, look at that! Foxclaw and Fiercetooth guys have fallen in love with one another. So romance, trust, respect, platonic like, comfort has increased, jealousy and dislike have decreased. So this is what it took, I think. Leaf Bear coming in, it getting really chilly, really cold, and them finally, after all these moons of, being friends, working up the courage to actually snuggle up to each other and realize that they are well and truly in love. Oh, that's wonderful. That's just wonderful. Okay, in terms of the other cats and what they're doing for the day, Queen Rainstar thinks she has been hearing the voices of StarClan cats. Ooh. I wonder if that means that StarClan's gonna come knocking sometime soon. I mean, she is 146 moons old. She has all 9 of her lives left though. She's been very lucky in that regard. Hemlock is assigning cats to the Dawn Patrol. Icicle Speck can't stand this cold. Inkfeather is feeling a bit underappreciated for her matchmaking. Don't worry, Inkfeather, you're doing a great job. Shining Stripe is thinking about a strange two-leg object he saw recently. Flare Freckles sneezes when a snowflake lands on her nose. Bear Pelts had a nice chat with a kitty pet. Foxclaw can't stand this cold. Ghostfeather can't wait for New Leaf. Freezefur snaps at some apprentices after they pull a harmless prank. Oh, and River Whistle was his apprentice. Oh my goodness. Cinnamon Tail is exhausted after a patrol. Fierce Tooth saw some wandering two legs today. Lion Paw daydreams about being a warrior in Tiger Clan. Lotus Paw, today is just not Lotus Paw's day. Oh, Lotus Paw. Scorch Paw is daydreaming, and Gullet Glow is on a walk out in the territory. Let's quickly check on the rankings for the apprentices. Lion Paw is ahead, so he's maintaining his position. He's got 36 experience. Scorch Paw has 26, and Lotus Paw has 23. Okay, so Scorch Paw has like picked up the slack a little bit, but Lion Paw, he is under Fierce Tooth, just like blazing ahead of his brothers. He had a bit of a slow start, but he's been blazing ahead. My goodness. My goodness. Okay, well, that is what we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up over here and move on to patrols. Okay, we are continuing with our patrols. We currently have 198.8 prey and we need 40. So we're not worried about food. Icicle Spec, our real physician, is going to go out and brave the cold on his own first off. There's a limited selection of herbs Icicle Spec can even look for in Leaf Bear, but if you can remember where the wild garlic grew in Greenleaf, it's his for the taking. Proceed. Icicle Spec returns to camp with stone-cold paws and a new hatred for digging, but carrying bulbs of garlic. So wild garlic was gathered, and then we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 4. So whether or not Lion Paw manages to stay ahead of his brothers, I think, or whether or not they're able to catch up to him, I think is going to be determined, again, by their patrol assignments by their mentors. So, ooh, we have in the patrol of 6, Lion Paw and his mentor, Fierce Tooth. Then we have Scorch Paw and his mentor, Shining Stripe. Okay. And it seems as though Bear Pelt has decided that he is going to try and give his son Lotus Paw a leg up in his training by sending him out in the smaller patrol. And this is going to be Lotus Paw's first chance to kind of exercise some independence and without supervision, observe the other cats and how they do things. Okay, fair enough. And then we have Foxclaw in this group, so let's see how that goes. As the patrol is checking the border lines, they hear an odd sound coming from a nearby bush. Proceed. Shining Stripe pads towards the bush to check on the noise when a rabbit bursts out, a loner following it. The loner speaks to Shining Stripe about clan life and how safe it would be for the newborn kids. Shining Stripe convinces the family to join Servant Clan. So Toadfeather joined the clan, along with Kite Kit, Odd Kit. So those are the two young ones. Okay. So let's take a look at who this is. So this is Toadfeather, a senior adult female with sunlit ice eyes and a Sokoke pelt. She's daring, a talented swimmer, and clever. Okay. She's actually quite a pretty cat. And then we have her two young ones, Kite Kit, who is a fearless male with sunlit ice eyes and a single stripe pelt. And Odd Kit, self-conscious male with sunlit ice eyes and a classic pelt. So these two are going to be sent off to Servant Clan with their mother, of course. So there we go. Kite Kits and Odd Kit. Okay. And Kite Kit looks so much... Oh, I didn't mean to go there. Kite Kit, guys, looks so much like one of the cats from Vampire Clan. Ugh. You know what's funny about switching between the clans is that by the time I'm like well and truly settled into, say, Royal Clan, my memory for Vampire Clan has been like erased, and I'm gonna have to relearn everything when we start season 2. Just like when I started playing Vampire Clan, literally my memory for Royal Clan was completely erased. Like when I was starting season 2, I had to watch the end of season 1. I had to go through all the family trees because I literally forgot how my cats were related and a whole bunch of stories to do with them. But the more I played, I kind of got used to it. And the more I got used to this clan, I have, forgotten Vampire Clan. But I do remember that we had a cat who looked a lot like Kite Kit. Okay, well, let's continue with the final patrol, where we have Lotus Paw and Cinnamon Tail, Freeze Fur along with Hemlock, and let's see what they get up to. The patrol meets Down Clan, a clan they consider to be allies at the border. Proceed. Cinnamon Tail excitedly trots up to the other patrol, greeting them pleasantly. They seem to be on good terms with the other cats on this patrol and strike up a conversation about specific happenings in their clan, asking if so-and-so had kids or if a certain apprentice has been made a warrior yet. So relations with Down Clan have improved, so this would have been a very nice, kind of relaxing sort of patrol for Lotus Paw, although I feel like Lotus Paw would have enjoyed something a bit more thrilling. But it was a good chance for him to learn, how you conduct yourself when you're not on a hunt. And Cinnamon Tail, I feel like Cinnamon Tail has been doing a really, really good job, like I mentioned before, stepping up in the wake of his brother's death and kind of being there for a lot of the other cats, making a good impression on the other cats, being really likable. I feel like he's done a good job kind of keeping the clan together. So good on you, Cinnamon Tail. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.